What was joyful about it, because it's partly improvised, and we'd set up the cameras. If I'm giving therapy on a desktop computer, FaceTime or Skype or whatever, so we set that up, one camera looking at you in another room in the house we're filming in, one camera looking at me, we can both hear each other, we record both sides of the conversation at the same time, and we just start a therapy session. And we just have a therapy session, and they tell me what their issue is, and I give them therapy, and we try and do it and make it funny as well. And it worked brilliantly, because without fail, nearly everyone who turned up was terrified, thinking, I'm in a comedy, where are the jokes? I have to make up the jokes. But actually just the process of chatting and doing it, there is something about looking at someone down the lens that feels very immediate, doesn't it? And very like, I'm really talking to you, which you don't normally see on television. I mean, the problem we had was always too much stuff. Sarah Hadland, who is in 2 or 3 episodes, playing a sort of Tory MP's wife. We sat down to do a scene, and the first take was 34 minutes long, of a scene that ends up being 90 seconds. 34 minutes, you think the show's only 23 minutes long. So we just let it run and just cut out all the stuff that didn't work, and also had to throw away a lot of stuff that was great, but we just didn't have room for, and just kept all the funniest bits.
In that respect, was every day almost a blank sheet? I mean, you turn up and you're going, I've got no idea what to expect today.
Every day was based on who was in that day. So Charles Dance plays my dad. He came in the morning. He's in every single episode. We did it. He's in pretty much one scene per episode. So we just started with the first one, and by lunchtime he'd shot his entire series. Richard E. Grant plays my therapist. He came in, did his whole series in one morning. Jessica Hines is my sister. She was in for a couple of days. It really depended on who was in that day. So there were various clients who come in. David Tennant is a client, Ian Hart, Kevin Eldon. Just an amazing cast. It was like fantasy casting. Who were all the people that you really wanted to work with? And because we only needed them for a short period of time, we got everybody we wanted. And then sitting in the edit with 92 hours of footage and going through, we've got to make 6 23-minute episodes out of this. So we've got to throw away dozens of hours of stuff. Some great stuff. David Tennant pretending to be Jerry Hall. That had to go. There was no space for it. So we just kept all the very best things and put them together and try to make sure they made sense.
And just finally, I just wondered, Charles Dance plays your dad. How is it to be admonished by Charles Dance? How little do you feel, even though he's acting?
Yeah.
Do you feel squashed?
Well, this was the joy of the whole show. It was all fantasy casting. And if you're looking for a man to play my father who can make me feel this big, but be funny with it and be charming, but brutal, who else do you go to but Charles Dance?